Welcome back to the Contractor Marketing Show. I'm your host, Matt Thibeau, and today we are joined with the man, the legend, Jonny Fluet. What's going on, Johnny?
Not much, man. I love the intro, man. Having a great day.
Gotta make sure I'm introing you properly. So, guys, I have Jonny here. He's got a fantastic company. They're called Home Assist Services. And I'm really excited for this conversation today because Johnny's actually a client of ours. And we've been helping out on the marketing side of things. But on his own efforts, he's actually built out a door-to-door sales team. And he's doing phenomenally well with that. And I thought it would be a unique opportunity to bring him on here and just kind of pick his brain a little bit about what he's doing with door-to-door sales and just kind of what he's learned so far, so that if you're watching this right now and you're thinking to yourself, what else could I be doing maybe to diversify my marketing efforts and how we can expand our company, maybe you'll get some great ideas with Jonny here. So Jonny, let's dive in real quick. Tell me a little bit real quick about what you do. What does your company do?
Yeah, of course, man. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the podcast, and I'm going to try and give you guys as much value as possible. So
awesome. Wait, by the way, before I go any further, Jonny is only 19 years old, by the way. So
yes.
So incredible. A lot of success at a young age. Anyway, I just want to say that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, so I started the business about a year ago now. So last June, first started it. So originally I kind of went into it as just like a full home service business. And then I kind of just stumbled upon like door knocking specifically for window cleaning. And ever since then, I've me personally has gotten really, really good at like door-to-door sales. Then moving forward, we killed last year with window cleaning. We hired 3 sales guys and we had 4 workers. So absolutely crushed it. Then moving into the winter, it's kind of like everybody kind of stumbles upon this question of like, oh, what am I going to do in the winter? It's like completely like bear market out there. So we stumbled across holiday lighting. So we originally were doing just like the normal traditional Christmas lights, the stuff that you can buy at Home Depot. We were kind of finding there was a complete shift in the market with a permanent lighting solution. So basically you install these lights on your home. They're LED lights. They last for like 25 to 30 years. They're fully controllable for your phone. It's just like you're dumb if you're not getting it, is basically what it is. So we kind of had a massive shift in our business. And that's when I kind of reached out to Matt. I was like, hey, Matt, like this seems like a super, super cool idea to market on. So we did a super, super sick campaign with Matt. Absolutely crushed it. I think we did like just over like 55K. First time doing it, we had to like completely learn the business, like the actual like installation of these things, which took us like a solid week. But we finally at the end got our feet on the ground and we're killing it with the marketing, the sales, and the operation. So super good. So that's just a little bit about my business and what we do right now. Like this year was a very big year for us for scaling our door-to-door sales team. Right now, we currently have like 8 door-to-door sales guys, and they're completely trained. They're savages. They're like totally sick dudes. And then we have like a whole window cleaning operation. So super, super fun. But yeah, that's just a little bit about the business. So we do window cleaning in the summer, and then we do the permanent lights starting at around like September, October.
Wow, very cool. Awesome, man. So I guess my first question would be, like, what kind of prompted you to get into doing door-to-door? Like, why would you do door-to-door and not like flyers or, some of these other things on top of doing marketing, like online and stuff like that? Like, why not flyers, or why not, trade shows and this, like, why door knocking?
Good question. For me personally, how I got into it, I was like 18 when I started the business, absolutely broke in high school, in university, first year university. So door-to-door was kind of the only option for me. It's either, you're spending your time or you're spending your money. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of money to spend. But going into like becoming like really good at door-to-door sales, I started to learn that number one, no one door knocks. Like everybody wants the easy solution. Which is like right now it's like, well, you can do anything, right? Anything that's like not spending your time, which should be like flyers or like marketing or like anything but door-to-door sales. Because at the end of the day, who really like here's door-to-door sales and like, holy shit, I want to do door-to-door sales, So It's really good because nobody does it, and it really just interrupts like sales patterns. So when homeowners or consumers are constantly being like, they've seen it every year, flyers for like lawn care, window cleaning, literally interlock, everything, they just see it and they're like, trash can, thank you very much. Or like same thing sometimes with like different other methods, like ads, you see so many of them. Scroll. Door knocking, it's like, cool, you're literally in front of the person's face, and it's just such an emotional sale. They like you, you're cracking, you're making jokes, making them laugh. It's a very emotional sale, and it's not done very often because a lot of people don't really want to go put these time and effort to actually get good at it. So for that reason, it's really, really good.
Yeah, for sure. No, I can't agree with you more. It's like one of the challenges that we have with advertising is where, like, if a client gives us content that looks the same as everyone else, there's kind of only so much that we can do to help you stand out. Or if you're not willing to do like this crazy offer or something like that, so it's like, it's hard to be able to really stand out then online. Whereas with what you're doing, you're getting in front of someone, you're like you were saying, you're right in front of them and you're like, hey man, so I'm curious for you, like, we can get into some of the nitty gritty of door knocking because I want to get there where you can kind of break down some of the systems of that.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious for you, obviously door knocking, you're starting, I'm sure you've started with like some false starts. Maybe you had like, some issue, maybe you embarrassed yourself like a little bit type thing. Take us back to like when you were first starting, kind of what it was like for you.
Cool. Yeah. So little backstory. So first starting door to door specifically, I had like, I wasn't really doing any like outbound for like marketing. And one of my mentors, his name is Rich Danby, super cool guy. He was like, you know what, man, like, you know what you need to do? You need to just like go and just like talk to people. So he was like, I want you to just go out and just start knocking doors right now. And so I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Because I was the kind of guy that was like, okay, I'm going to make the website. I'm going to get the company t-shirts. I'm going to get a whole shebang when I'm not even like putting it in front of everybody. So it was just like the first time of like, just go out and hustle. So first time door knocking. Oh my gosh. I remember the first door that I went to, I was like walking up and I didn't have like any scripting, nothing. It was just like getting out there and doing it. And so there's door knocking. It went pretty well. Like I'm a pretty social guy, so I like knew how to talk to people. That's basically half of the battle, is like knowing how to talk to people, being confident, making people laugh. But yeah, went out for like 30 minutes and I was like, you know what, this doesn't work. And if you're in sales, any kind of sales, it's literally all a numbers game. So I kind of didn't really understand that. And I was like, door-to-door sales doesn't really work. And so later on in my business journey, I hired a coach for like door-to-door sales specifically, got really good at that, putting a lot of time, a lot of effort into like really, really getting like my sales skills up. And then honestly from there, it's like, as soon as you start teaching people door-to-door sales, your skill just goes like exponentially higher. So yeah, that's just a little bit about my first experience door knocking.
Yeah. So take us back to, what was that kind of moment from going from, oh man, like this doesn't work, like frustrated, blah, blah, blah. You mentioned you hired a coach. What was kind of the moment where it kind of like it clicked for you, where you were like, oh my gosh, I think I just kind of figured this out? What was kind of that moment? Was there something you learned? Was it a scripting thing? What happened?
It was literally, to be completely honest with you, first I got my first door-to-door sale window cleaning. And then it was after the fact I did the window cleaning job when the customers were like incredibly happy and they were like, oh my gosh, like the windows look super good, this and that. And what it did like subconsciously is it just was like, oh my gosh, I'm not selling people. I'm actually doing people a service by like letting them know what we're doing. Door-to-door sales, if you've ever done it or you're getting into it, it is 100% a mental game. Like, I'm not even joking. You could literally go out on the doors, be super, super confident, say like 5 words, like for window cleaning, be like, yeah, we're just like hardworking students doing some window cleaning. We're helping Laura and Jeff and we're doing a sweet deal. I'll come give you a price. It's literally the confidence in what you're selling. And so for me, it was just realizing that, okay, I'm actually providing value to people, not just like out here scamming people.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone who's like, they did kind of what you did in the first shot, where they're going out and they don't really know what they're doing, but they're just getting out there? Like, what are some quick tips that you would give to someone who's just starting to keep their mindset right, like what you were talking about, but cool. B, also just be effective? Because obviously if a stranger's showing up at my door, I don't necessarily trust you.
Great question. Great question. I was actually just on a call like 30 minutes ago with one of my sales guys. He's new, and he started off for a week. I was training him every day. Became a savage. He was like selling like 1.5K every day. But now he kind of took like a couple weeks off, and he was kind of just like getting into it again. So I just literally answered this question 30 minutes ago. So in my experience, I'll give you some quick vague pointers, and then I'll get a little bit more in detail as to like pitches in general. So success in door-to-door. I've had like 30 sales guys throughout my year of just like continuously hiring, and then didn't work out. In my experience, there's two kind of sales guys. There's number one, a guy that comes in with a super good attitude, super high energy, and he sells like super good, like 1.5K on his first day. And ever since the first day, he's just consistently getting better. He's pushing like 2K, 2.5. Then there's the guys that are like, in my opinion, they're lower energy, a little bit less confident, which is totally cool, right? Like you're starting something new. So no one's expecting you to be like a savage the first day. But then they're kind of stuck in this like lull of like selling like one job, two jobs a day. And the main difference, what I noticed from the A player guys, from the B player guys, number one is their energy, making the homeowner laugh. Again, this goes to of the fact of like sales patterns. So you can talk about like sales patterns in general of like marketing, flyers, and door knocking, but specifically in door knocking, most people are just like, hey, sir, my name's Johnny. I'm with Home Assist Services. We're just in the area today doing window cleaning. Would that be something you would potentially be interested in? But for when you're door knocking, you really want to stand out. You want to show them, you want to give them a pitch that they've never heard before. So like I'll crack jokes when I'm pitching them just to make them laugh. That's number one, high energy. You want to be super, super high energy, making them laugh. Basically people buy from people they like. So if you're a likable dude, like that's like half the battle. Another thing is understand your numbers. Door-to-door sales specifically, you're getting paid for no's, like just to give you some numbers in my business, roughly 50% of the doors you knock, nobody's home. About like roughly, depending on how good you are, like 25% of the people you talk to, you'll give them a quote, and your closing rate should be around 10%. So if I knock 100 doors per day, which doesn't seem like a crazy amount, like most guys can do like 200 doors per day. Realistically, we'll talk to about like maybe like 50, 40, 60, who knows. But you should be closing like 10 jobs if you're like pretty good. So it's literally just understanding your numbers and be like, cool. Every single no is it's like one step closer to the yes. So that's like, if you can just keep that mindset all day, it's like, cool. It's like with numbers and statistics or anything, it comes in like clusters, not in like, it's not spread out. If I were to throw 100 pennies on the floor, there wouldn't be like heads, tails. Would be like, there might be like 15 heads over here, like 20 over here. So you have to just kind of understand the numbers game. So those are like some vague things that I would give like advice that I would give to like someone just starting out. In terms of your pitch, okay, this is a little bit getting into the honey here. So couple things you really want to understand when you're door knocking. So we went over number one, having a super high energy. Number two, understanding your numbers. And this is kind of like more in depth. So door-to-door sales is super, super, super emotional. It's 100% an emotional buy. So when you're at the door, we want to give them incentive to let them like kind of to give them a price. They're not going to be like, oh, like, hey, my name's Johnny, I'm doing some window cleaning, I'll give you a quick price. Like, why would they let you in their backyard? So some things you have to highlight are like social proof is a big one when you're door to door. Like Nancy and like Laura and Jeff just down the street there. Cool. Yeah. The guys with the super cool dog. Yeah. We're just kind of helping them. We're doing all this stuff and then kind of getting to what you're explaining. So social proof is a big one. If you know your neighbor Laura and you're friends with her, if Laura's getting it done, that means I should get it done. So social proof is a big one. Letting them know you're giving a deal. Again, this is like the biggest one, letting them know you're doing a deal. So explain what you're doing. Hey, sir, like just doing some windows over here. Reason why like Laura and Jeff are kind of getting it done. We're just giving a bit of a deal for like, dudes wearing like black shirts with like a white stripe in the middle of it. Oh my gosh, man, you qualify. So you know what I mean? You just want to make them laugh. So social proof, deal. Other thing is, it depends what industry you're in. But for window cleaning, stuff like window cleaning, like lawn care, pest control, anything where it's like a quick little, like it's a visual, you want to show them the problem. That's like a massive thing. So you want to like take them out to the window and be like, yeah, we're cleaning all this dirt off of the window. Or like pest control, like, yeah, you see all the ants on the sidewalk there? Yeah, we're kind of taking care of that. Or like lawn, you see like that dead grass down there? Yeah, we're kind of just dealing with that. So like, again, social proof, deal, showing them the problem. Those are some like really good ones that if you were to literally go out and say just like those things, you would make sales. Like what my coach says is, if you were to like literally just go out on the doors and say, we're hardworking students, we're cleaning windows, we're giving a bit of a deal, I'll give you a price. Four like little phrases and you'll get sales like instantly. So more important would be higher energy. So the first things that I said were higher energy and understanding your numbers. Those are a bit like more like theoretical things. And then getting into the actual pitch, giving them a deal, social proof, and showing them the problem. Those are like the three main ones that I would go for.
Very cool. Wow. There's so much information there. I'm sure the listeners are going to have to like rewind, take some notes. Love the thing about knowing your numbers. That's something that we preach a lot about. That's some all really good stuff. You were talking a little bit about how with your industry, like window cleaning, obviously that's like a very emotional buy. Is this something that would work for someone? We work with a lot of painters, a lot of landscapers. Maybe talk a little bit about that, of what the process might look like for some of these higher ticket things. So that, because I don't want the guys who are doing like higher ticket services, like even remodeling, stuff like that, to think that this isn't something they could take advantage of. What would the process look like for that?
Good question. So we actually do door knocking for permanent lights. So our average ticket for that is roughly $3,000 to $5,000 for that. And we door knock for that as well as do marketing. So we've done both. We've had success in both. It's a little bit different when you're doing high ticket items. So there's two different models in door-to-door sales. There's the model that I do for window cleaning, which is literally selling them on the spot. So you're canvassing, so you're getting like the leads and closing them on the spot. And then there's like kind of another way, which is called the I can't remember the name, close or lead close model, where basically you send out canvassers, where they basically do the front half of the pitch. Like I was saying, it's still applicable. We're doing a bit of a deal for everyone in the neighborhood. Same things that I was saying. But instead of trying to close them on the spot, which is what we do, you basically grab their first name, their last name, email, phone number, everything like that. And then you set up a time for a more like advanced sales guy to come in and actually close them. So that's kind of what we do. So for permanent lights, we go out, we door knock, we'll be like, hey sir, like we're just out here doing these like super cool like lights. I'm kind of busy right now, but what I can do, I'll pop by in about like 2 hours, and we can kind of sit down, have a coffee, and kind of I'll just go over like everything with you. And so then you can actually have a time to sit down, make sure that they're like husband, the wife, the kids are home, all the decision makers are there, and then you can kind of go for it that way. That's a very effective model for higher ticket.
Yeah, I could definitely see how that would be like effective.
It's just like Facebook ads, right? It's like you're paying for like the ads, and then you're getting them, and then you're closing them.
Yeah,
exactly. Also, another thing that I was going to mention, which is nice about door-to-door sales, you have an in-house marketing and sales team, which is super, super cool. So like for Facebook or like flyers or anything like that, you're paying somebody else to get the leads. Door-to-door sales is like super great because you're not relying on anything. Let's just say, hypothetically, this is definitely not going to happen, but internet was shut off like this.
Yeah.
If you just do marketing, you're screwed, right? Therefore, it's like really important for having like a good marketing and sales like line to have not to have all your eggs in one basket. Like have some in Facebook ads, have some in Google, have some door-to-door, have some flyers. Kind of like be smart about how you do that.
Yeah, diversify. Yeah,
exactly.
Multiple lines in the multiple fishing hooks in the water.
You got it.
So we're going to close off here because we just have a couple more minutes left here, but
We got 8 minutes.
yeah. What would you say to someone who is considering doing door knocking? They're listening to this right now and they're like, this sounds really interesting. I want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
But, a lot of the contractors that we work with and that, I talk to, a lot of them see themselves as more of like maybe a craftsman, and they struggle with, seeing themselves as like, oh, I'm a real sales guy, What would you say to the guy listening right now who's like, I want to try this, but I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not really that much of a sales guy?
Yeah, totally understandable. That makes perfect sense. I say my advice would be, number one, understand what you're good at. If you're really good at trades and you're not good at sales, I wouldn't try and invest most of my time into getting really good at sales. If you kind of just know at the end of the day, it's not really what you want, because if you're not happy with what you do, it's just never going to last. You might be able to pull it off for like 2-3 months, who knows? But I would start hiring sales dudes. Maybe get them like a course, a door-to-door sales course, get them a coach, and just find a young dude that's like, yo, I just want to get really good at sales. And you can kind of like work with them that way. Or you can try sales, you never know until you try. So I would, before doing that, go out on the doors, just give it a shot, like you're never going to see the person again. So that's kind of my main advice that I would give. But I would say like delegating is super important, like understanding what your strengths are and finding other people that have the strengths that you're missing out on.
Yeah, super important to be able to understand yourself. And then like you were saying, maybe it's finding someone who is the sales component and partnering with them.
Exactly.
Maybe exploring certain options like that. Or like you said, you find a kid who's like really passionate about sales, maybe educate him a little bit on your service, but he's able to, get the information and all that. And then you call and you book the appointment, or you show up and then you're the expert from there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, we're coming to the end here, but I guess how we can close things off here is, if you were to give someone just one little piece of golden nugget about door knocking, if they were to, zone out for this entire episode and they only tuned in at this one moment in time and they were like, they only took one thing away from it, what would you say to them?
Rewind to the part where I explained door knocking. I'm just kidding. Man, good question. Just get out there, knock for a whole day, be positive, have high energy, smile, make people laugh. That's pretty much it. Go out all day, put in the work, because if you put in a lot of work all day, you'll just naturally start to learn things. You'll get some doors slammed in your face. What did I do wrong here? Cool. And then you kind of fix it. So just go out for literally a whole entire day. Don't get too down on the nose, and just understand that each no is one step closer to a yes.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Jonny, thanks for being on the show today, and appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.